This is the 80s Show on iHeartRadio.
Let's go. Come on, let's go. Say ho, ho. Say ho, whoa, ho, whoa. Let's start the show. Let's start the show. Let's start the show. Let's start the show.
Alrighty then. For whatever the hell reason, I have been locked out of my Facebook account. Being a broadcaster and being asked to... well, there's lots of people on my Facebook page that I don't really know on a first-name basis because they're listeners. And you try for a moment to... You try to know who everybody is, but there's no way you can. And you try and do that thing where you're like, hey, this is my personal Facebook page. It's not really for listeners. And then listeners go, screw you for not being my friend. I'm not going to listen to you anymore unless you accept my friend request. And it just gets to be such a thing where you have to explain to people over and over again that eventually you're just like, oh, I'll accept a couple. And floodgates open. And before you know it, there's a bunch of people who you appreciate but don't know all that well. It's part of your account. And when, for whatever the hell reason, you get locked out of your account and you're asked to identify your quote-unquote friends, it's not always so totally easy. Anyways, I'll go back to trying to identify people I don't know a little later on in the show. Right now, though, let's for a moment talk about the upcoming election in a very broad sense. Everybody's hopping up and down about the fact that Ted Cruz is our first official, Ted Cruz is our first official potential presidential candidate, the first guy to throw his hat in the ring and say, yep, this is it. I'm throwing down. I'm doing this. And I find election times to be a time of year when humanity reveals itself, and American humanity reveals itself. Now, America is an amazing, amazing country. There are many, many things that I love about this country, and I still, for all our foibles within our political system, believe we're one of the best examples of democracy on the face of the planet. But I think one way in which America falls down a little bit for me, and this is not our government, and this is not something... it's hard to point your finger directly at the cause of this. But America is not necessarily a society that celebrates the individual. You'll do better, get further, go faster to your destination in life if you are a joiner in this country. If you're willing to throw in with a group, man, it's going to have tremendous benefits going forward. Everything from, fraternities in college, Cub Scouts, Girl Scouts, team sports, stuff like that. But what if you're not a team player? Not because there's anything wrong with you, but because you like doing things on your own. You like arriving at your own conclusions. You like figuring things out for yourself. You don't like leaning on other people. You get a sense of satisfaction through being your own individual, coming to your own conclusions, pulling yourself up by your own bootstraps and getting it done. And you don't want to be a joiner, and you don't want to be a part of a team, and you don't want to be a part of a society, and you don't want to be a part of a fraternity, and you don't want to be a Mason, and you don't want to be, anything. You don't want to be part of a brotherhood or a sisterhood. You just want to be you. And there's nothing wrong with that. But it's not the most celebrated quality in America. Americans, especially those in politics, like large chunks of folks that they can rely on to all act as one. And look, there is value in that. There's tremendous value in teams and groups and associations and organizations and people that join together because they think and act in a certain way. But there's never a time that I can think of where the individual is truly celebrated in the same way. In fact, the individual is often a hindrance to the political process in this country. The individual is an inconvenience. The individual that you can't lump in with a constituency or a group of people that are going to vote a certain way. Oh, that represents a lot of work for a candidate, and they don't really want to be bothered with you. They want to be able to speak to large groups of people. But the individual matters. You matter. And it's times like these where I see us as a whole in America looking to the political process, saying, we need somebody that's going to do something for the middle class, and I'm part of the middle class. Or we need somebody that's going to do something for this minority. Or we need somebody that's going to advocate for white people. We're losing all rights. We're not protecting our borders. Good old-fashioned American white people. What hope do we have in this world? All of those opinions, at some point or another, as much as they sound utterly ridiculous, are warranted when you look at it, when you break things down. But it's that lack of interest that the political process has in the needs of the individual, and the lack of time the political process has in the needs of the individual, that I think motivates people to jump into groups and lose a sense of themselves and lose who they are. And then put faith in this idea that this elected individual is going to change everything for the better. Oh, my God. The Tea Party libertarian, the collective Tea Party libertarian boner in this country at the moment. Oh, man. You need a wheelbarrow to get it in and out of rooms. It's so big because of Ted Cruz. He would definitely be a different candidate. He would definitely be different from anyone that I can think of that's been elected in my lifetime, based on what I know of him. And there's a lot of people who are like, oh, no. If that guy gets elected, I'm moving to Canada. And there's a lot of people that are going, oh, my gosh, if that guy gets elected, everything will be fantastic. Everything will change. We'll finally have that hope and change Obama talked about, but it'll be delivered by Ted Cruz, and he's different. And look, who the hell knows? Who the hell knows who's going to get elected? But one thing I can almost categorically guarantee you, the moment whoever our next president is steps into office, you won't notice a lick of freaking difference in your life. You probably won't notice a lick of freaking difference through their whole term, their first term. And if they get elected a second term, and you were someone that voted for him, by the time the second term rolls around, you're going to be so disappointed. You're going to feel so betrayed in some way, shape, or form. Things won't change based on who's president in your life. Things probably won't even change in America based on who's president. Not in ways that are measurable. America's like a super tanker. Huge, powerful, but slow moving. And needs time to turn around. It shifts America. Change in America comes in teeny, tiny shifts that you can't even feel. But the cumulative effect over years, well, that adds up. But in terms of noticing or feeling a difference based on your elected official, if you're counting on a politician to make your day feel different when you wake up in the morning, well then, you're on the road to disappointmentville, my friend. Population, you. So I would remind you that you have great power within yourself to make changes. You have great power within yourself to affect the way you go through your life, through your day. And a lot like America, these little imperceptible moves that you make in your own life cumulatively add up. It's a cliche, but there's a reason it's a cliche. It's because there's great truth in it. If you're dissatisfied and you're jumping up and down, hopping up and down, all excited for the change and hope and whatever the hell it is you think this next election's going to bring, remember, you must be the change you wish to see in the world. Before anything else, you must be the change you wish to see in the world. Mahatma Gandhi. Alrighty then, Funkhauser. Today in the show, we'll discuss how Mo'ne Davis is a class act like you wouldn't believe. But first, let's check in with super producer to the stars, Barry Funkhauser. You can tweet him at FunkFM. Find out how he's doing, and then go over the events of today in our segment, My Witness News. Funkhauser, how are you doing, and what's going on in the world?
Yes, here I am.
Here you are.
Here we are,
you is.
together again on America's Talk.
You know, I feel legitimate on America's Talk in a way that I didn't on Extreme Talk. I think we have significantly less listeners on America's Talk than we did on Extreme Talk, but we do go on the air after Armstrong and Getty, who I have a tremendous amount of respect for.
Yeah, and
It's
the
kinda
station
cool.
has a Wikipedia page, too, which is exciting.
I think Extreme Talk had one too, because someone asked me once if I had a Wikipedia entry, and I was like, I don't think so. And they're like, well, they talk about you on the Extreme Talk Wikipedia entry. I was like, oh, so they do. How about that? So I know Extreme Talk had a Wikipedia. Man, isn't it weird? That's that's where the sense of legitimacy comes from in this day and age.
Yeah.
Wikipedia.
Something that anyone in the world can edit.
Oh, I've done it so many times. I mean, they change it back immediately, but then, you know, like, you just take a screenshot and it's fun. I think I edited Walmart's Wikipedia page once. It's like, I changed the whole entry to evil bastards that deserve to die and be first up against the wall when the revolution comes. And it was that way for about 2 seconds. And then I got blocked from making changes on Wikipedia from that IP address. But nevertheless, it was fun. How are you?
I'm aight. Just waiting for payday.
Oh, yeah? When is that?
I hope it's this week. I think it's this week. It better be
yes,
this week, or else I'm moving into the studio.
Payday. The most insulting day of the month. Where you open up that check and go, oh, wow. Kind of feel like I worked a lot harder than that. I don't know if I should hate my employer or, you know, state taxes more, but I definitely hate someone.
Mm-hmm.
I've often thought of...
Have you done your taxes
no,
yet? Yeah, me
I have
neither.
not. I've got a confusing tax situation. I do, where I have, like... I'm paid out of several different states because of the different radio stations that I'm on, and it's a whole big thing. And I called my accountant, and he was like, yeah, we're going to have to set aside some time for you this year. And I was like, okay. So now is his busy season, so I'm just waiting for enough of a window of opportunity to show up.
Yeah, I'm going to try to do it online this year, but running out of time.
See, if you're in entertainment, like, I just don't think you should do your own taxes.
I've never
Because
done my
there's-
own taxes, so I was going to try
really?
to do it this year by myself, because this year was kind of a simpler year for me. But I kind of have a feeling that I'm going to screw it up big time. And owe like a boatload of money, you know?
Right. Are you worried that you're going to screw it up?
Yeah.
Or and owe a boatload of money? Like, you're going to do it wrong?
Yeah.
Are you worried you're going to owe a boatload of money because you did it wrong?
That's
Or-
one of the reasons why I'm worried, yeah. Either I did it wrong or the company I work for did it wrong, and I just don't want to owe.
Yeah.
Owe and sucks.
Yeah, me neither. Well, all right then. Let's.
And that's how I am.
Yeah. So basically, you are living in fear and trepidation with regard to the idea of getting bent over without the benefit of lube by Uncle Scam.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Blinds drawn.
All right then.
Jennifer Lawrence says she's done playing Mystique in the X-Men movies.
I didn't know she was Mystique in the X-Men movies.
I didn't know either. Is that the blue girl?
That's a blue girl. Yeah, the blue naked girl. John Stamos' wife. What, Rebecca Romaine? Like, not wife anymore. I guess I was... You know, I am a huge comic book nerd, and I was so excited about the prospect of the X-Men movies. And, like, I can sort of get behind Avengers. I didn't hate the Captain America movies. But for the most part, man, comic book movie adaptations, I'll go see them. But they're so wildly disappointing, and I think the most disappointing of all to me was the X-Men franchise. So I kind of, I lost interest in that a long time ago. So I guess Jennifer Lawrence was playing Mystique in X-Men for a while. Now she's done. So I guess that's the last time we'll see her naked.